Okay. And last but not least, we're going to jump across the pond and we're going to take a look at what's going on in the United Kingdom, because there's some pretty important things that are happening over here or over there. And I want to make sure that I bring it up and I talk about it, because things are getting extremely dystopian over there. And I want to make sure that we're all aware, not only for y'all over in the United Kingdom and so on and so forth, but also here in the United States, because if it's happening there, it's on its way over here. And so the gov.uk one login was updated just recently, September 25th. And a lot of information data gathering stuff has been updated on this. This is a long document, but there's just some stuff that I want to point out in regards regarding the information that they're collecting. Keep in mind that they're working on this digital ID thing, and that's all going to be folded into this as well. It says when you are referred to gov.uk one login by an online government service to sign in or prove your identity, we will know what service you have come from. The information we then collect from you will depend on whether the online government service is using gov.uk one login solely to log you into their system or to prove your identity as well. The evidence and documents you have available to prove your identity, and the type of device that you use, for example, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. So they're collecting all that data when you log into gov.uk one login. Jump down. It says for e-passports, biometric resident permits, and cards, and frontier worker permits, the app will read your document information from its near-field communications chip. We may collect the following information: your name, date of birth, address, postcode, document number, expiry date, issuing country, nationality, photo image, and email address. So they're collecting all that. It says we also do liveness check to prove whether you are a real person and not anything that might impersonate or an individual, such as a mannequin, wax figure, 3D mask, picture, or deepfake. Liveness check is basically taking your phone and taking a video of your entire head, scanning it, and so they can verify if it's actually you. It says how will we check you are the person in your photo? It says we do a likeness check to prove that you are the same person as your identity document photo. This check uses a still image generated from your selfie video and your identity document photo to measure the unique patterns of your face. This is called facial biometric data. Biometric data from both images is compared to establish whether you are the actual owner of the identity document. Guys, how did we ever function before this? How did we ever manage to go about our daily lives without having 500 pieces of paperwork that we have to fill out, 16 documents to prove that we are, and all the digital biometric verification that we need in order to do it? How on earth did they ever function in life beforehand? Oh, I know, stress-free. But they don't want that now. They don't want that now. How we check your bank details. They can check to verify it's you through your bank as well. If you prove your identity without photo ID, we may ask you to provide your name and account number and sort code of a UK current bank account in your name. Keep going. It says proving your identity at a post office. We need to check that your identity documents are real, that you are the same person as the identity document photos, also known as a likeness check. This is a long document, guys, like I said. It says what information is processed when you add or share documents. Depending on the document, the information that is processed may include, this is the data that they're collecting on you, full name, date of birth, place of birth, address, driving permissions, document-specific numbers, such as a document number or service number, date of issue, date of expiry, service information, image of the user, and your biometric information. We collect technical information as an integral part of providing gov.uk one login to you. This includes, so not only all that personal information, but they're also going to collect your online identifiers like your internet IP address, technical information about the device you use, such as the model, the web browser operating the system, and the unique device ID. So they're collecting all of that data as well, including the device and internet connection that you're using. They're getting all that data as well. Some cookies are strictly necessary for gov.uk one login to support authentication and security. Cookies that they use to review include information about the pages that you use, how long you spend on each page, how you got to gov.uk one login, what you click on while you use the service, an indication of your location, such as your city and country, using your IP address, how quickly the pages load, if you see any error messages, and technical information including your IP address and unique identifier, and the type of device and web browser that you are using. So this is all being collected as well when you log into this thing. I think there's a little bit more. I could be mistaken. Nope, there it is. To protect against crime and fraud, we sometimes need to share all this information with government departments that run the services you access through your gov.uk one login, other public sector organizations such as the Home Office, law enforcement agencies, Experian, which is the credit agency, data processors who provide relevant monitoring services. The information we may share includes phone numbers, email addresses, IP addresses, locations derived from the IP address, unique account identifiers, information about the devices being used, including device ID, identity document details, including name and birth and date of birth, address history. Where we have concern about fraudulent activity, we may also share details from your passport, driver's license, biometric resident permits, and identity cards. This is what's already running now for gov.uk. And now they're going to be adding on the digital ID, which will connect to your bank account, to your, if you want to rent things, to your ID itself, and including this, which is your digital driver's license, which is coming later this year. Now, this was announced in January. It says the UK government is launching gov.uk wallet, an app to simplify access to services and documents like digital driver's licenses, alongside reforms to public sector technology to save £45 billion and drive efficiency and growth. So now they're bringing in the gov.uk wallet, which will have government-issued documents, including your veteran card, driver's license, and probably your digital ID too when that comes rolling out as well. So all of this is being brought in. Now, I was made aware of this as well, which seems to be, at least from my perspective, from what I'm gathering, not a lot of people from the UK know about this. Now, I could be mistaken because I can only get so much of a feel from over here. But this thing is, wow. The UK Parliament, they're working on a bill. I believe it's at the House of Lords right now. Again, I'm not an expert on how the UK works with their stuff, but I believe it's at the Lords right now. But it says the Children's Wellbeing in Schools Bill. It says a bill to make provisions about the safeguarding and welfare of children, about support for children in care or leaving care, about regulation of care workers, about regulation of establishments and agencies under Part 2 of the Care Standards Act 2000, about employment of children, about breakfast club provision and school uniform, about attendance of children at school, about regulation of independent and educational institutions, about inspections of schools and colleges, about teacher misconduct, about academies, that's a weird word, and teachers at academies, repealing Section 128 of the Education Act 2002, about school places and admission, about establishing new schools, and for connected purposes. Now, this thing is big. It's long. We're not going to go over all of it. I broke it down, some important things to be aware of when it comes to this. This is the UK Parliament Children's Wellbeing in Schools Bill. What's involved? Parental and child rights removed. There's no consent required for personal information gathering or sharing regarding your child. Decisions regarding school curriculum and determination of quote unquote suitable education transferred to state. So basically, all the personal information, all the data that the state and the school is wants from your child, it no longer requires consent. So any data that the state or the school is going to collect about your kid no longer needs parental consent. On top of that, decisions regarding school curriculum and determination of suitable education is transferred to the state. So that means if you want to do private school, if you want to do homeschool, if you want to do even tutoring outside of school, but it's still attached to school curriculum, the curriculum must be approved by the state, and it must be verified and approved by the state if it in order to match the education that they want you to have. So again, the parents will no longer have decision making or consent in how, what, or where the child is getting taught. So if there's some type of curriculum in a public school that a parent does not want their kid to learn, they no longer have a say in it, and it's now required for the child to take it. Digital ID will be required for every child. So now, because of the whole digital ID thing that it was announced, there's an uproar regarding that. They're sliding this in for the kids at this point with this bill. This is government issued unique identifier linking all child data across schools, health services, local authorities, and police. There is no opt-out. It is required, and no disclosure of who gets what information about your child. And this will also establish brand new databases for data collection. So that's on this thing as well. And last but not least, attack on homeschool, mentally disabled, and religion. Homeschooling parents must submit curriculum for state approval and present reasoning why homeschool is more beneficial for their child than a public school. So if you want to homeschool your kid, every drop of curriculum must be approved by the state, and you must submit a proposal that gives valid reasoning for why homeschool would be more beneficial for your child than a public education. If none of those meet their approval, then it is required that your child attend a public school. That's in this bill. On top of that, disabled, like mentally disabled, because kids have different needs, there's special needs and stuff like that. So that type of schooling, along with religious teaching, must also be approved as well, both in homeschool and in public school. It must be approved. And if it's not, then it's eliminated. Now, there's a whole lot more to this bill, but like I said, it's so long and there's so much stuff to it. I just wanted to break down to get an idea of just how bad this thing is. So this is the UK Parliament. Yeah, it's at the House of Lords right there. Children's Wellbeing in Schools Bill. And so it's making its way through. This was just recently updated on the 9th. So if you're over in the UK, be aware of this. And if you're here in the United States, be aware of this as well, because if it's happening there, it's just a matter of time until it starts working its way over here.